Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is create a simple notification service, and this would be to get any alerts in case anything should go wrong with any of our machines. So you just type in simple notification service in the tab, and then you click on topics, then create a topic, and you have to name your topic. So you can name it Comp 6905. The display name is optional, but you can name it the same thing. And then you click create topic at the bottom. The next step is to create a subscription. And you have to choose the type of protocol. So we can select email. And then you just type in your email. And click create subscription at the end.
Okay, so now we're going to create a role. So we're going to navigate to the console and type in IAM. Right, and to the left of the page, under Access Management, select Roles. So on this page, you're just seeing all the existing roles that you currently have. So we're going to create a new role. And towards the bottom right of the page, you should see Step Function. Select that. Click Permissions. Then click Tags. And click Review. Okay, and we're going to give our role a name. Click Create Role. Right, and so we're just going to scroll down the list until we find the role we just created. Select it. What we're going to do from here, we're going to edit the permission so that we're able to add a log to our state machine. So we're going to click Attach Policies. Right, so we're going to search Cloudwatch. Scroll down until you find Log Full Access. Click and click Attach Policy. Right, so now that our role has been created, we're going to set up our state machine. So we're going to type in Step Functions in the search bar. Right, and we're going to select State Machines to the left. And we're going to create a state machine. So we're actually going to be using a template to create a machine. So we select the third option. And the template we'll be using is called Hello World. Right, scroll down. So we're actually going to do some edits to the JSON file to make our step machine a 3-step function. Right, so once you edit your JSON as you see fit, you click Next. Right, we're just gonna do some detailing. So you could change the name of your state machine. We're gonna change ours to Schedule Workflow. And we'll be using an existing role, which will be the role that we created before, the name of which is automatically populated. And the reason why we edited the permission is so that now we could include logging. So we're going to have the option here to create a log of all the errors that might occur in our state machine. Right, and then we're going to scroll all the way down and select Create State Machine. And there you have it.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into a little bit more of Cloudwatch. So I'm going to navigate to the Cloudwatch console, and just wait for that to pop up. There we go. So Cloudwatch has a lot of different things that you can do. We're only going to mess with 3 things today. I'm just going to, under logs, go into log groups to show where we would find all the logs for the machine that we just created. So I'm going to scroll all the way down, look for the name of the machine we just created, schedule workflow here. If I click on it, it's going to be an empty log, simply because there actually isn't anything to log because the machine has just been created and it's never been run yet. And the cool thing about logs is you can actually state how long you want a log to be stored. So if we wanted the log to be stored for 10 years or a day, we could specify that. So the thing about events is we have to define rules that tell AWS how to handle an event. So we're going to create a rule here. I'm actually going to create a schedule rule. So this rule will execute every minute, and in this case it's going to cause our state machine to execute once a minute. Yeah, so after selecting the target as our state machine and leaving it to create a rule itself for this rule, we're going to hit configure details. I'm just going to name it execute state machine, and this enabled here has to do with the rule itself. As long as the rule is enabled, the machine will execute once a minute. If the rule is not enabled, like this little box is not checked, the rule exists but it's not gonna do anything to the state machine. We're gonna hit create rule, and there we go, the rule is active, so our state machine is gonna run every minute. And from here now, I'm actually going to create an alarm based on a metric. So I'm going to click on metrics. I'm going to actually navigate to that Cloudwatch rule I just created, and basically every time that this rule fails to execute, meaning the state machine fails to successfully execute, I'm going to be able to determine how often I want to get alerts based on that. So right, just coming back to the metrics page here, I realized I clicked through that a little too quickly. So what I did was I selected the desired metric, I went to the graph metrics tab, and then I clicked on this little bell here that took me to the create alarm wizard, I guess. So it'll auto populate with the metric that I want to test, the rule that the metric belongs to. The period here is 5 minutes because that's just the basic monitoring period assigned to the free tier, so we're not going to mess with that. Here, anomaly detection, meaning I want to know when there are more than 2 failed executions. I'm going to hit next. So here, this is just saying how I want to be notified. I'm going to select an existing topic. Here you'll see the populated topic we created at the very beginning, and the email address subscribed to it. If there were more email addresses subscribed, all of them would be listed here. And we're just going to click next, name the alarm. I'm just going to name it execute fail. Hit next. This is just to verify that this is what you want, and create alarm. So now we have all 3 of Cloudwatch's main features running on monitoring our state machine. I'm gonna hand you off to Kumar now.
Okay, now we are going to look at how to customize your state machine. And what this state machine basically is, it's various states, but it flows from step to step. So basically, our machine has like the input from the first step. That input, it will process at the first step, it produces an output, and that output feeds as the input to the second step, and that process repeats. So let's look at our state machine. You can find that by searching for state machines, and you'll see our function there that we created. You'll have the option to edit that. So when you click on edit, you can see the details of our functions, and we can look at the code a little more closely and edit it to make some change. So this is our original code, which has 3 states. The first state basically would basically take whatever parameters we pass to the function, and then it would return hello. That hello would be the input for the second state, and then it would pass the output as this is group 3, and then finally the third state would take that input, this is group 3, and then forward the result. We hope that you enjoy our demo. So what we're going to do now, we're going to make some edits, and what we're going to do is create a variable to hold a new result. We'll call it result task, and we'll assign this to result path. We'll assign this to task results, and basically this variable would be like a null variable in the state, but in the other states it would have a value. So when this input would basically, the result of the first state would have hello with this variable here, task results. When you go to the second state, that will be the input to the second state, and then task variable now will have that value. This is group 3, and then finally the process repeats, and then finally task results will now have the final state. We hope you enjoy this demo. So if you want, we can look at compare the 2 executions to show that it had the changes. What we're going to do is just save the function, and then we can manually execute this. So, or you can look at the logs to see if it has executed already, right? So this is just a comment. We can execute manually, all right? And then you should see the result, all right? So we have 2 versions here. We could look at the first one relatively quickly and show the expected values. So this one came in, it has the input, whatever's passed demo, the output, hello. When you go to the second state, that will be the input, hello, and then the output will be, this is group 3, and finally to the third state message, this is group 3 is the input, and then the output will be, we hope you enjoyed this demo. And now let's look at the updated function. And what you'll realize now, the input is the same, the comment hello, but now we have a new variable called task result, which has the value hello, and this is the one that will keep changing in the next state. So when you go to greeting, comment remain, but task value is now updated to show the input, and the output is updated in task value, and so it goes on to the third state. So all we did was just have a variable to store the state, and we can move it forward and adjust it as we go. All right, and now I'll pass you on to Antonio, who will look at the termination of processes.
Okay, so now we're going to terminate the resources, right? We're going to go we're going to navigate to the Cloudwatch to delete all the Cloudwatch services on the state machine, dependent on the state machine. Here we have the alarm. So you're going to select the alarm, go to action, and click delete. Once we've done that, we're going to go to rules. Select, go to actions, select delete. Now we're going to go to log groups. Select what you created. Go to actions and select delete log groups. Now we have to go back to the step function console to delete the state machine. So you select the machine, click delete. This might take a little while. You can delete the roles until this deletes because of dependency. It takes a little while. Alright, now that we're done with this, not done yet. But after this, we're going to go to the IAM. Okay, so we're going to go to the IAM, delete all the rules that we just created for the state machine. So we select and delete the rules. From here, we go back to the simple notification service. Then we select our topic, COM6905, and click delete. Let's enter the phrase. And yeah, that's it. Terminated.